Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. NFL Week 15. We have 16 big games here. 14 of these 16 games have playoff implications. With just 3 weeks left in the regular season, I guess that's what you really want. You want your playoffs to come down to this point, to the last weekend, the last 3 weekends. We only have one team that's clinched the playoff berth, which Dallas did by losing last week. Figure that one out. But, Week 15 starts off with a coach getting fired, Jeff Fisher getting terminated by the Los Angeles Rams. Obviously kind of a weird time to do that, the Monday before a Thursday road game. I don't know why they just recently announced a contract extension and now he gets fired. So old boy's going to sit home and get paid next year. I don't understand what Stan Kroenke is doing, what Demoff or Les Snead is doing. LA is a mess right now. And then it's going to get worse when they build a new stadium when San Diego moves there with them. So Thursday night we have the Los Angeles Rams without the head coach Jeff Fisher at 4-9. Big shocker there. And the rumor was Monday morning the announcement came out somewhere between 7 and 9. Versus Seattle 8-4-1. The Rams won week 2 versus Seattle 9-3. In their last 9 games, the Rams are 1-8. Seattle is favored by 15 at home. I got to see them winning, covering, and over on the 38.5. This is going to be a massacre on Thursday night. We have Miami 8-5 versus the New York Jets 4-9. Miami is tied with Denver for the last wildcard spot. Currently, Denver holds that spot. Miami's favored by 2.5. Over under 38. Dolphins win. Cover the 2.5. Over under 38. Next, we have the Philadelphia Eagles at 5-8. What happened to Carson Wentz? Because if you look at the two teams that had the first 2 draft picks in the 2016 NFL Draft. Rams, 4-9. They took... Wow, the kid's name... Lost the kid's name because he's not playing. Jared Goff, there we go. He just started the last 2 games. Sometimers there, I guess. I don't know. Jared Goff. So technically the Rams are 4-9 with Jared Goff. The Eagles are 5-8 with Carson Wentz. When you trade up to draft a franchise quarterback, so shouldn't your team be a little better than that? Just saying. But Jared Goff has only played the last 2 games for the Rams. But yeah, 5-8 Eagles versus the 7-6 Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore is 1 game out in the division and 1 game out in the wild card. Favored by 6 at home. I got them winning, covering, and under 41.5. Next, we have the Cleveland Browns at 0-13 versus the 6-7 Buffalo Bills. 12 teams have gone winless with playing at least 8 games in the season. Only 1 team has ever gone 0-16, Miami Dolphins. The last 2 teams to go 0-4 in the season was the 0-8 Detroit Lions and then the 82 Baltimore Colts. Cleveland has lost 15 straight dating back to last year. They're going to lose this one, I think. Buffalo is not, 6-7. They're an okay team, but I get them. They're favored by 10 at home. I have them winning, covering, and over on the 42.5. And Rex Ryan is doing everything he can to keep his job. Green Bay Packers 7-6 versus Chicago Bears 3-10. Packers only 1 game behind Minnesota in the wild card. And actually, tied with Minnesota, 1 game out in the wild card. Green Bay favored by 6.5. They win, they cover, under on the 42.5. Jacksonville Jaguars 2-11. 2-11 over the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm guessing Blake Bortles isn't that good of a quarterback. I had them in the playoffs in my playoff prediction show. Oops. Houston Texans 7-6. They're tied with Tennessee for the AFC South. Houston has the lead in that. Ironic, huh? Houston Texans are tied with the Tennessee Titans. Anybody see the irony in that? Houston favored by 6 at home. They got them winning, covering under 39. For those of you who don't know, the Tennessee Titans were formerly known as the Houston Oilers. They moved to Tennessee, and then Houston got a franchise. So, got an expansion team. That's where the irony comes in, if you didn't know. Oh, you didn't know? You asked, better call somebody. Sorry, wrestling pops into my head. It's early. Indianapolis Colts 6-7 versus the 7-6 Minnesota Vikings. Colts are 1 game out in the division, 2 games out in the wild card, while Minnesota is 2 games out in the division and 1 game out in the wild card. This is a must-win for both teams. I think the winner of this puts themselves 1 step closer to a possible playoff scenario, but then you get 2 more weeks of this, that, and the other going on. But I think the loser here makes a real big step back, especially if it's the Colts. I think Minnesota, if they fall to 7-7, went out 9-7, slider possibility. We'll see. But Indianapolis, the only chance they have is that AFC South is not that good. It's very competitive. You get 2 7-6 teams and a 6-7 team. But Minnesota favored by 3.5. I had them winning, covering over on the 44.5. Then we have the Tennessee Titans at 7-6 versus the Kansas City Chiefs 10-3. Tennessee is tied with Houston for the AFC South lead, while Kansas City is tied with Oakland for the AFC West lead. Kansas City is favored by 5, and then winning, covering, and over on the 43. Next we have the Detroit Lions 9-4 versus the New York Giants 9-4. Possible playoff matchup here. Detroit leading the NFC North, 2nd in the conference, while the Giants are 1st in the wild card spot by 2 games. Giants at home, favored by 4.5, and then winning, covering, and over on the 41.5. Next we have the Pittsburgh Steelers versus 8-5 versus the Cincinnati Bengals 5-7-1. Pittsburgh is +1 in the division over Baltimore. Pittsburgh favored by a field goal on the road, winning, covering, over on the 44. New Orleans Saints 5-8 versus the Arizona Cardinals 5-7-1. Arizona favored by 2. I have them winning at home and covering and over on the 50. San Francisco 49ers at 1-12 versus the Atlanta Falcons 8-5. Falcons are tied with Tampa Bay for the NFC South lead, but Atlanta actually has the lead, but they're tied. Atlanta favored by 13.5 at home. The way that offense has been playing, winning, covering, over on the 51. I actually picked their defense up in fantasy because they're playing the 49ers, and the 49ers suck. It's going to be a really good game here. We have the New England Patriots at 11-2 coming off their Monday night victory over Baltimore versus going into Denver 8-5 at the Denver Broncos. This is a possible playoff matchup. New England is number 1 seed by 1 game over Kansas City, while Denver is a 6th seed, tied with Miami at 8-5, but they're in the playoffs. Here's the kicker. Denver has won 6 of their last 7 versus New England in Denver. New England favored by 3 points. I'm giving it Denver. Denver +3. They cover. They win. Under on the 44. I think if Trevor Siemian wants to be an NFL quarterback and be the starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos, this is a must-win game for him. He has to go deep in the playoffs. I know it's just a matter of time before Paxton Lynch takes over, but yeah. Oakland 10-3 versus San Diego Chargers 5-8. Irony, both teams leaving their current cities next year probably. Oakland going to Vegas and San Diego Chargers going to LA. Oakland tied with Kansas City for AFC West lead, +2 games on the wild card. So they're pretty much going to, probably the 2 wild card will come out of the AFC West, Denver and either Oakland or Kansas City, whoever doesn't win the division. Oakland favored by a field goal on the road. They win. They cover under on the 50. Sunday Night Football, we have Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 8-5 versus the 11-2 Dallas Cowboys. Another possible playoff matchup. Tampa currently the 6th seed, a half-game lead over Washington, while Dallas is the number 1 seed, sitting at 11-2. Coming off their second loss of the season to the New York Giants. Everybody in Dallas needs to pump the brakes a little bit. Everybody on ESPN Radio needs to pump the brakes a little bit. Okay, Dak Prescott lost a game. His first loss as a starter. He's 11-1. We don't need to put Tony Romo in yet. The kid's allowed to lose the game. Their playoffs are clinched. All they're shooting for now is home field advantage. I think they got a 2-game lead for that. Pump the brakes. Let the kid play. Let him go through diversity. See what happens. Let's don't call for Romo when the kid is 11-1. Good God, people. Dallas favored by a touchdown at home. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 46. Monday Night Football. The 5-8 Carolina Panthers versus the 7-5-1 Washington Redskins. The Redskins are a half game out of the playoffs. They're favored by 4.5 at home. I have them winning, covering, and under on the 51. And we'll wrap up Week 15 of the NFL football season. Playoffs right around the corner. We got NCAA bowl games right around the corner, I believe on Saturday actually. Starting the bowl season. So we have 40 big bowl games. 62.5% of the NCAA FBS teams make a bowl game. You have 5-7 teams in the bowl games. Yeah. Playoffs too much? Bowl games too much? We'll see what happens. Thanks for watching our sports show, and don't just have a great night. Have an American night.